Toni. I think everybody was shocked when we found out that these two actually got married. I know like there's a lot of things we will do in order to pay our bills. But I never thought the relationship between Toni and Birdman was genuine. I just knew that he was just willing to go broke behind her. It just never fit. And so apparently in August of last year in 2024, they had a secret wedding, finally got married in secret, even though everything else was public. And then she went and tried to annul the marriage 2 weeks later because she realized she...
All right, let's get into it, because honestly, this might be one of the rare times I actually agree with Tasha K. This whole situation between Toni Braxton and Birdman just doesn't add up. Think about it. Toni Braxton, a living R&B legend, actually went through with marrying Birdman, only to file for divorce 2 days later? That's pure chaos. And honestly, Toni has no business being caught up in something this messy. Now, Birdman clearly isn't thrilled either. For over 6 years, he's been dragging his feet on making this marriage official, while Toni's been patiently waiting in the background, playing her cards carefully. But when the wedding finally happened, Toni made sure to lock things down. And now, reports claim Birdman could be forced to pay up big time from his $160 million fortune. Talk about a plot twist. I'm sure he didn't see that one coming, especially considering how he once played Lil Wayne over money. But here's the real question. What made Toni file for divorce so fast? Well, first off, these two go way back, almost 2 decades. And let's be real, when they say they've been just friends...
You know, me and him have been friends for 16 years.
I know you had a song like 15 years ago,
yeah,
too,
we've
right?
been like besties for a long time.
People always say that. But
No, this is real. Like no cross the line.
Besties, like you always kept in touch and you always talked?
We would keep in touch. He would come see me when I had my plays. When I had my baby shower, he would come.
All that time. Yeah, no one's buying that. There's no way these two haven't been more than friends at some point. Toni Braxton herself once said that nothing ever crossed the line between her and Birdman before they officially started dating, but fans weren't entirely convinced. See, Birdman has always been notoriously private when it comes to his relationships. So when rumors started swirling back in 2016 that he and Toni were together, people were shocked. Some even claimed they had secretly eloped in 2017. Both of them quickly shut that down, insisting they were just cool, keeping things low-key and casual. You know, the same way most situationships start. Then there was that infamous interview moment. But of course, it was a big deal.
No, 2016, November, when I was on tour, October, I was really sick. I don't mean kind of sick. I mean like really,
From
really
lupus?
sick. Yeah, I had a really bad flare. And I was on tour. And every day I was on tour, he was there with me. If he left out, he would come back.
And this is before anybody knew you guys.
We weren't anything. It was buddies. It was nothing. Not even a day. He was my friend. He was there. I don't know if
he already loved you. He's there every day taking care of you.
But you know, he really was there every day. My buddy, my friend. To you, all right? You good? I'm cheering good. You know, he was just there as my friend. Like cheering, I'm cheering good. Big Mama good. He was there every day for the shows. And on my off days, he would go and take care of his business, but he would follow me on the bus and just make sure I was okay. And I don't know if you've ever been really, really sick in your life and you feel kind of hopeless and you got somebody who's a friend that's there. That's kind of...
It's Birdman and Toni Braxton. Two total opposites we never expected to see together. Especially since Birdman rarely shows up publicly with anyone, let alone a romantic partner. As he put it himself, asterisk, your personal life shouldn't conflict with your entertainment life. Asterisk. Still, the rumor mill wasn't done. A blind item started circulating online, hinting that Toni might have chosen Birdman for reasons other than love. It read something like, this former A-list singer from a famous musical family ended things with her longtime boyfriend because she needed to focus on supporting her family and paying off massive debts. Instead of following her heart, she allegedly sold herself to the highest bidder, a man whose lifestyle has left him living on borrowed time. It seemed Birdman was just as smitten with Toni, because when he decided to pop the question, he went all in. The proposal came with a rock so massive you could practically see it from space.
Well, T, that's my girl, my friend, my family.
Do you have sex?
That's my love, my soldier, my life. She my everything, and I trust.
Because you bought her a Bentley truck.
Yes.
So the implication is that's your girlfriend.
See my life.
Shortly after the engagement, Toni posted a picture of the two of them, and of course, that stunning ring stole the spotlight. Reports say Birdman dropped around $1 million on that diamond to make things official, and he couldn't stop singing her praises afterward. During his appearance on The Wendy Williams Show, he even referred to Toni as family, making it clear that his feelings for her ran deep. But if they were really that head over heels for each other, why didn't they just walk down the aisle already? Toni herself opened up about it, saying she was thrilled at the idea of getting married again. She even told Wendy Williams that they almost had a wedding date set, but right before they could lock it in, some messy family drama came crashing in and put everything on pause. They kept postponing that wedding over and over again until it basically vanished from the plans entirely. What's wild is that Birdman actually seemed ready to make it happen. If it were up to him, they'd have been husband and wife long ago. But things took a strange...
There's no date. We almost had a date. Well, we had 2 dates, but we were doing Braxton Family Values and we were going through a little drama. And I was like, okay, the wedding is a good thing to get all of us sisters together. Yeah. But I couldn't get us all together. And I said, the wedding's not a good reason because it's messing up my relationship a little bit. He's like, come on, Michelle, set a date. I know.
That's what he calls you?
Calls me Michelle. Doesn't call me Toni at all. That's my middle name, Toni.
Turn when Toni suddenly revealed that her $1 million engagement ring had been stolen after she accidentally left it in her luggage while flying. Now, whether that story checks out or not is up for debate, but right after that little incident, the couple announced they were officially parting ways. Of course, the rumor mill didn't slow down. Some people swore they had secretly tied the knot and just kept it quiet, but Toni quickly shut that down, making it clear that she and Birdman were never officially married. After the breakup, she posted a picture of herself in a stunning red dress with a caption. Now, tell me that doesn't sound like a subtle message. Because as much as she tried to make it seem peaceful behind the scenes, it was anything but smooth. Word on the street was that Toni wasn't Birdman's only woman. Long before she entered the picture, he was reportedly involved with Kimora Lee Simmons, and sources say he continued supporting her lifestyle even after Toni came along. Birdman even called Kimora the love of his life and thanked her for everything she'd done for him. So, Kimora's the love of his life and Toni's family? Yeah, that's a whole lot of confusion right there, and that's exactly what caused so much tension between them. Even when Toni and Birdman reunited on stage during her Atlanta show, Kimora was allegedly still in the background, and Birdman was right there at her beck and call. Insiders say the only reason Kimora never went public with him was because she didn't think he fit her fashion circle image. Fast forward to last year, when Toni and Birdman supposedly decided to go through with the wedding, Birdman still hadn't fully let Kimora go. On the actual wedding day, he showed up late and then left early, claiming he had to help someone. And that someone, according to reports, was Kimora. The worst part? He never even apologized to Toni for ditching his own wedding. Now, let's be honest. Seeing Toni Braxton, the legend herself, wrapped up in this kind of mess was the last thing any of us expected. Playing games with Birdman? At her level? It just didn't make sense. But Toni clearly wasn't planning to stay for long. She stayed just long enough to secure her bag, then allegedly filed for divorce, signing the papers with just their initials, TB and BW, citing that their marriage was irretrievably broken. Neither one wanted the details to go public, and both have gone radio silent since. No wedding rings, no photos, nothing left on social media. The internet, of course, went crazy over the news. Fans are still stunned that Toni even gave Birdman a chance, though no one can deny she walked away with a hefty check. Toni Braxton and Birdman as a couple will forever be one of the most unexpected celebrity pairings we've ever seen. Like, let's be real, Toni Braxton, the living legend, and Birdman? That's still wild to think about. When Toni Braxton and Birdman went public with their relationship, the internet didn't know how to react. People said it was impossible, that the soulful diva who gave us Unbreak My Heart could never fall for the tattooed rap icon known for. The first spark appeared in 2016 when Birdman joined Toni on stage during her *The Hits tour. Birdman, usually reserved, looked at Toni with something no one had ever seen before: softness. Their friendship evolved into something deeper, something real. And when they confirmed their relationship publicly, it became one of pop culture's wildest pairings. Toni Braxton had always carried herself with grace. But behind that calm, she was living with pressure most of us couldn't imagine. Financial struggles, health battles, and constant rumors had followed her for decades. By the time Birdman came into her life, she needed peace, not chaos. Between his record label drama, ongoing legal disputes, and the flashy lifestyle that came with being a hip-hop mogul, Birdman's universe was anything but calm. Still, T&I tried to adjust. She attended rap events, stood by him during controversies, and defended him against judgment. Tamar Braxton, outspoken, bold, and unfiltered, had always been close to Toni, but also competitive with her. Their relationship had its ups and downs, but one thing was certain: Tamar always had an opinion, especially when it came to Toni's love life. In his words, "Every time me and Toni made progress, there'd be something said, something whispered, and it always came from inside." He never named Tamar directly in his interview, but fans could tell who he meant. Birdman said he tried to win Toni's family over, but some people didn't want to see her happy unless it was on their terms. Toni revealed her stunning diamond engagement ring on her reality show * Braxton Family Values. First, it was postponed, then canceled. Then, both unfollowed each other on social media. Birdman revealed later that the ring disappeared, stolen, lost, or perhaps deliberately misplaced. Toni was devastated, not just over the missing ring, but over what it represented, a love that was slipping away. While Birdman was used to living fast, luxury jets, deals, and headlines, Toni preferred quiet control, structure, and emotional security. Toni wanted peace, and I wanted her to have it. But peace don't live where money moves. Tamar began feuding with Birdman privately, accusing him of controlling Toni's career choices. Birdman reportedly tried to limit how involved the Braxton sisters were in Toni's business affairs. She would post cryptic tweets about fake love, bad energy, and men who try to isolate women from their families. Toni found herself caught in the middle, between a man she loved and a sister she couldn't abandon. The love had turned into a cold distance, polite texts, rare visits, and awkward public appearances. Starting a new chapter isn't always about finding new love. Sometimes it's about finding yourself again. No public fight. No scandal. Just two people walking away quietly, both still hurting, both still proud. Me and Toni, we didn't fall apart because of us. We fell apart because of energy around us. When you love someone but the people close to them don't love you back, it starts eating the relationship alive. Birdman didn't name names, but when the interviewer mentioned Tamar, his silence said it all. Meanwhile, Toni stayed silent, the one person everyone wanted to hear from. Toni Braxton is a woman who's lived through bankruptcy, heartbreak, and illness, yet always finds her way back to the stage. She admitted she still cared deeply for Birdman but knew their worlds weren't built to coexist. Even after the breakup, Birdman tried to remain civil with Toni's family, but according to close sources, Tamar kept her guard up. Toni reportedly told her sisters to stop discussing Birdman publicly, but Tamar continued hinting at the drama online. The family dynamic became even more strained when Toni sided with Birdman privately about certain business decisions, leaving Tamar feeling betrayed. In 2025, Toni Braxton remains focused on her music and health, having recently released a soul-stirring project about love, healing, and independence. Birdman continues to lead Cash Money Records, but when asked about Toni, his tone always softens. Meanwhile, Tamar has repaired her relationship with Toni, claiming they've put the past behind them, though fans still sense the tension whenever Birdman's name comes up. This entire saga, love, fame, family, and heartbreak, says something powerful about what it means to love under pressure. Toni and Birdman weren't just a celebrity couple, they were a clash of two worlds. Their love was real, but sometimes, real isn't enough when everyone around you is watching, judging, or interfering. I never lost Toni. I just stopped holding on to something that didn't want to be held no more. I was too protective. I didn't realize my words could destroy something my sister really cared about. For the first time, fans saw a softer side of Tamar, one that understood her influence and its consequences. Toni reportedly appreciated the apology, though Birdman hasn't publicly responded. Now, years later, fans still wonder, could Birdman and Toni ever find their way back to each other? Maybe that's the most Toni Braxton thing she could have said, graceful, wise, and full of quiet power. When Birdman spoke, it wasn't to create drama, it was to close a chapter. He wanted the world to know that his love for Toni was never